Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to FridayFrightAThon. We're doing round 2. If you guys weren't around for last year's round of this, basically, this is just kind of a month-long reading event, buddy read along that I do with 3 of my very best friends. We have Mel from Mel to the Any, Amy from A Court of Crowns and Quills, and Jen from Pinot and Pages. And we basically pick 4 thrillers and we read them throughout the month of October starting on a Friday. Every Friday, we start a new thriller. That's it. That's all it really is. And it's just a super fun time. It's a super fun way to get into the spooky mindset for the month of October, and I'm so excited for it. So we picked out 4 titles that we think are gonna give us some heebie-jeebies, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be a baby at least 2 of them. Probably all of them, to be completely honest with you guys. So October 4th, 11th, 18th, and 25th, we start a new book, and we read for the week. We haven't quite decided if we're doing page breakdowns. I think we're probably going to do page breakdowns for those of you who like the structure, but just know this is a very lax read along. You can read at your own pace. I will probably end up falling behind or reading ahead, knowing myself and how I work with read-alongs. So I'm going to highly encourage you guys to go check out the 3 other lovely ladies that I'm hosting this with. We basically do this across all platforms. I believe last year when we started this, I was the only booktuber, and since then, Mel and Amy have started their own channels, but the other 3 girls are all bloggers. We're all on Instagram. We're all on Twitter. It's across all the bases. So basically just use hashtag FridayFrightAthon for us to be able to see what you're doing, see that you're involved. And you can use that everywhere. So let's get into the books. I will leave all of the Goodreads linked down below for each of these books specifically because it will do a much better job of giving you a synopsis than I ever will. So the very first book that we're reading, we are jumping in with a bang. It's going to be our only nonfiction book. We're starting with true crime. We did one last year and it scared the pants off of all of us, so we figured we would do another true crime nonfiction story this year. So this time around we are kicking the month off on October 4th with American Predator by Maureen Callahan. This is the true crime story of one of the scariest real American serial killers in recent history, so we're gonna start off being real uncomfortable reading at home at night. Moving on to the next Friday, we are on to October 11th. We are going to be picking up The Whisper Man by Alex North. This is a serial killer thriller. This basically follows a serial killer who abducted and murdered 5 people 20 years past, and he got the nickname The Whisper Man because he would lure his victims out of their windows at night by whispering to them. And then this is taking place 20 years after that fact when a young boy vanishes and they hear whispering outside their window. Goosebumps, ooh, this is gonna be so great. So, as you guys can see, I already have this. This is an option that you can add into your book of the month. So for those of you who don't have a copy of this already, you can just add this into your book for next month for, I believe it's $10 you can add a book. I tend to add a lot of books to my boxes. I very rarely get one book. And also American Predator, the first book that I talked about, is also available as an add-on. That's probably the cheapest place you're gonna find them, unless you can find a really cheap audiobook or something. On October 18th, we are going to be reading The Escape Room by Megan Golden. This one is probably gonna be the one that skeeves me out the most because this is my nightmare. This is basically taking the escape room concept that everybody seems to do nowadays, where you go with a group of your friends and you try and solve your way out of a room, but it's taking a turn. It's gonna get real serious. People are gonna be dying and it's scary. That's my worst nightmare, is going to one of those things and having somebody actually be murdered and they're all oh, it's part of the show, it's fine. Or go to a haunted corn maze and that's prime serial killer territory because everybody's oh, it's part of the act, it's fine, she's not actually dying. Meanwhile, I'm actually dying. Can you tell what my nightmares are? That's where my brain goes. So that's the 3rd book that we're picking. And then the last book that we are picking up on the final Friday in October is The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. And this one, I don't know much about this, and this is the one I think I want to go into as blind as possible. I know this basically follows a family who takes a vacation to a cabin in the middle of nowhere when a person shows up and tells the child who's playing on the front lawn that a lot of weird things are gonna happen and it's not their fault. And then more people show up and they start storming the house. That's all I know. It sounds creepy. I feel like there's going to be some murder in afoot because that seems to be the theme we have going on this year, but that is going to be the final book that we finish out the month with. So if you guys would like to partake in this and join along with us in reading these 4 thrillers throughout the month of October, feel free to grab yourself a copy. Again, I will have all the Goodreads links down in the description so you can pick and choose what you want to read. If you want to read one, that's cool. If you want to read all 4 with us, please do. If you want to read none, that's cool. We're just going to be reading these regardless, so join in, don't join in, whatever floats your boat. So that's going to be it for this video. It's just a real quick announcement. I hope you guys are excited, and I'll see you guys in my next one.